Change of mind. A new poll suggests the British now want to stay in the European Union. New Hampshire's governor on how the Republican health care bill could affect his state's opioid epidemic. North Korea today, new defiance. The communist regime's leader, Kim Jong-un, insisted that he will never negotiate away his missile and nuclear programs. But the world's highest diplomatic body, consequential decision in Britain this century, voters are now having second thoughts about their choice to leave the European Union. A new opinion poll shows a majority of British people now want to stay. And business leaders are warning their once flourishing economy will flounder unless the right compromise is reached with the EU during exit negotiations. Add to that, a deeply divided government after the recent election has left a hung parliament, and it has become harder for many to keep calm and carry on. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabham reports.
Hallsborough in eastern England. This is Brexit Beach. The town's centuries-old fishing tradition is on its deathbed. In common with kindred coastal communities around the country, fishermen voted to leave the European Union. They believe excessive regulation from Brussels is killing their industry. 1 year after Britain's so-called Independence Day, Mark Foreman is worried that the country's commitment to Brexit is wavering.
I thought that would improve the fishing situation, but now I've got my doubts. I'll still come out anyway for everything else. I want the country to be run by British people, not by the EU. I think there's too many people in power who are against Brexit, and I think there's so many people with money tied up in Europe, they just don't want to come out.
Of course, from our perspective, hospitality businesses, their needs and requirements are put first.
Independent doesn't mean isolated. It's an interactive independence. Where do people get this idea that when you're independent, you're closing your doors? They're mad.
Nick Ward relishes the freedom of motorcycling. Independence and national sovereignty drive his continued support for Brexit.
There's more to it than economics. What Brexit actually means is that you want to control your own borders and you want to make your own laws, and that is your starting point for negotiations. Why do so many people want to come here in the first place? Britain is probably one of the least xenophobic or racist country in the whole of Europe. Try being black and playing football in Poland. We want to interact and we want to maintain this beautiful island for everybody and generations to come.
British attitudes towards Europe are turning as people belatedly agree with the so-called Remainers that pre-referendum pro-Brexit rhetoric was flawed. Business leaders hope the prospect of economic trouble will convince the government to compromise with Brussels. On Brexit Beach, Britain's schisms are as deep as ever. At the PBS NewsHour, I'm Malcolm Brabham in Aldborough.